In May 2014, we decided to travel to Sicily in southern Italy to figure out more about the ongoing migrant crisis. During that time, the coasts of Sicily and Lampedusa were the hotspots of refugee flows coming from the Middle East and Africa. Most refugees came over the Mediterranean Sea on old fisher boats. We wanted to know more about this phenomenon. What brings a person to leave a proper home in search of a better future? How is the situation in southern Italy? How do the people who escaped wars, crossed the deserts, and traveled for months or even years continue their lives once they arrive at the European shore? When we first arrived in Catania, we met up with some activists and interviewed them. At the train station, we came upon a group of Syrians, which after 8 days of boat journey, finally arrived in Italy. They were exhausted. Their faces were burnt by the sun, but they were still happy that they had made it. We started to talk to Ahmed, a Syrian-Palestinian refugee which has been living in Denmark for many years. Some of his relatives from Syria decided to flee to Europe because of the ongoing war. In order to support and welcome his family, he decided to go to Sicily to wait for the boat which left the port of Alexandria, Egypt. The people on the boat were in trouble. Via satellite telephone, they made an emergency call. Then the line was interrupted suddenly. Together with the activist Nawal, we got in touch with the Coast Guard of Italy and Malta. We could feel the tension and uncertainty of anticipation for a sign of life.
Siamo sentiti per 48 ore per un'imbarcazione. Allora, ultima chiamata di questa imbarcazione, una donna urla perché sta per partorire ed un uomo, quello che parlava con me, piange dicendo che le onde sono alte 3 metri, che sono in piena tempesta, che hanno lanciato l'SOS da 48 ore, che Malta non si è mossa e che non vedono nessun elicottero sopra di loro, né maltese né italiano. Cosa devo fare? Lei mi dica quello che io devo fare. Questa imbarcazione per problemi di protocollo, di competenza, di inumanità maltese può affondare. Io ho 2 familiari davanti a me. E fino a questo momento le persone sono in balia alle onde, mi dia uno stato che potrebbe andare. A chi devo chiamare? Se chiamo a chi devo chiamare se Malta non interviene? Mi risponda. Io stacco, ok, io stacco, però le dico una cosa. La vita di 450 persone in questo momento è a rischio per protocollo, per competenza, per acque territoriali. Ok, va bene, dai. La soluzione non è nelle vostre mani e quindi... Va bene. Mi scuso, buona serata, buon lavoro. Buon lavoro. Anzi, questa gente forse stasera morirà.
I'm in Catania to meet the brother of my wife. The problem, they have no possibility to come to Europe because they are in the Middle East. They have been in trouble in Syria. And we try to take them from Syria to Egypt, and after that we try to find somehow to bring them here. We don't find just the ferry. We have to take them by the boat. There is some people, they look after the money, and they take from Egypt $3,000 for each one, and nobody guarantee them if they will die or if they will arrive. We can say the only solution we have, even we know it's bad solution and bad trip will be, and perhaps we will never meet again. Nobody knows. In the beginning, we have no chance to connect these people in the boat, but in the last yesterday we have got by the international phone. We have got they call for help, because they are in trouble situation. There's one lady also come pregnant in the boat. You know, this is not the first time I'm waiting near to the sea. I love the sea, but I'm afraid from it. I'm afraid from the sea to move me some bad news.
Then finally, we got some good news. The boat was rescued, and together with more than 1,000 other refugees of different boats, A Navy ship brought the people into the harbor of Augusta. Many young men, women, and children, even newborns, left the ship. A massive police presence was at the scene. For some of the people, Sicily is just a stop on an ongoing journey. The reunited family of Ahmed continued their journey toward Denmark. But not all of the migrants were able to move on. The Dublin regulation of that time forced them to stay in Italy. A lot of migrants were brought to the Cara di Mineo, one of the biggest refugee centers in Europe. It is dozens of kilometers away from populated areas in the middle of nowhere and highly guarded by the military police. Thousands of people were living together, waiting for their asylum reply. Without having contact with the local population and a certain idea of how things are going to be in the future, mourning and frustration were growing in the center. Another hotspot has been Risparin since the Operation Mare Nostrum rescued the refugees on the open sea, the tiny island of Lampedusa. We took a ferry to see this most southern part of Italy. During our investigation, we figured out that the island was facing a harsh reality. The stunning beaches and the continuous arrival of migrants have created a contrast, making the inhabitants feel helpless. In the center of the town, there is a huge boat cemetery. The leftovers of refugee boats, mixed with personal belongings, are silent witnesses of the struggles of desperate people. Giacomo Scarlazzo is an artist, musician, and activist. Together with his friends from the organization Ascavusa, he is running the museum Porto M, which is dedicated to the refugees and their lost objects on the boats. He told us that we should see more the human side to it. In the song, he talks about getting to know each other.
Una piccola patria in cui nessuno nasce, il mare sarà la culla dei miei figli.
Antonio Taranto told us that Lampedusa has always been a melting pot of different cultures. It highlights the humanitarian aid the people of Lampedusa offered to refugees over the years.
Queste persone venivano accolte nelle case dei lampedusani, in parrocchia, venivano vestiti, sfamati, poi venivano indirizzati verso la nave per essere trasportati in Sicilia.
He talks about the necessity of a press center in Lampedusa to spread real information.
Dovrebbe anzitutto dotarsi di un ufficio stampa, che non c'è, che di fronte a certe notizie potesse prendere posizione.
After our visit, we left with the feeling that there is no simple solution for the refugee crisis. The current laws are obstacles for the migrants and the local population. We are facing one of the biggest migrations in history, which of course brings a lot of problems. Building walls and fences can't be the answer. Only with a European refugee politic, which includes all of the countries and offers safe migrant routes, we can find a solution.
Io non ho paura, io non ho paura.